DPS is the most controversial role to rank this season, all the way up to the top 2. People can have wildly different orders based on how much they value team performance, meta flexibility, consistency, pop-off moments, or whatever else they make up. With that said, I am quite confident in my top 10, starting with Checkmate. He was consistently great on every hero with flashes of elite playmaking when it mattered most. On Tracer, Genji, Mei, Sombra, even Echo, he was owning left and right. This man almost single-handedly got them to the mid-season madness. He ran circles around Yaki and rose to the challenge against Kevster, even fighting back a potential reverse sweep. He's the type of guy to purposefully desync his blade from Nano Boost because he doesn't need that garbage. He is all natural, grass-fed, with no added hormones or steroids. In the past, he had some consistency issues, and maybe he still does, but with how good his bad days are, I don't even care no more. Number 9 is Proper. Yes, he still makes the top 10, even with the shock being complete booty cheeks. He loses some points because his Sombra was not very good and his Hanzo was forgettable, but I don't care enough to push him out of the top 10. He was forcing wins on this shit team with nothing but his sheer will. Bro does more than any one man should on Tracer, only to look behind him and see his whole team in the spawn room eating Bonchon chicken. He has to hard carry on Genji to beat even the LA Valiant. No scrim prep, no plan. He just identifies the best chances of winning and goes for it. He will ego the best of the best on Widow, and he's so mechanically gifted he'll get away with it. He's already gotten his hopes and dreams taken from him, so don't take away his top 10 placement as well. Please have some mercy on this man. Number 8 is Kevster. He may be having a somewhat quieter season than usual, but he still decides to just own the lobby whenever he's really feeling it. When he pulled up on Mei or dabbled on a hit scan not named Sojourn, the results were very bad. However, it turns out if you let one of the best tracers to ever do it play the character, good things usually happen. When Kev is playing his best, the game is always winnable no matter who he's facing. But for some reason that only really happened when he played Florida, and even then it wasn't guaranteed. He'd also straight up disappear some matches, which is not normal for Mr. Sterling. He is obviously an incredibly talented player, but Glad's inconsistency and the DPS rotation really hasn't helped him so far this season, so it's tough to put him any higher. Number 7 is Pelican. In the off-season, he was training deep in the mountainous wilderness to improve his Tracer. As such, he's returned anew and become a more complete player. He isn't just holding his own with the best of the best, he is making high-value, impact plays. He may suffer from troll moments on Sombra every now and then, but he always finds a way to rebound from them and end strong. He will troll an EMP, maybe 2, but make no mistake, that third one will be clutch. No matter how good his other heroes may be, he is still Pelican at heart. His strength will always lie within the projectile guys, and this season has been no different. I am down to call him the best Mei of the season despite the limited playtime. He's very patient and doesn't just play to hit a wall on the initial engagement, he plays to erect multiple fat walls throughout a fight, and he doesn't blow his ice block prematurely like 90% of the Meis in this league. However, the inconsistencies of his Tracer and Sombra play bring him down a fair bit, landing at 7. Number 6 is Leave. People were saying around the quarter mark of the season that Leave was underperforming, but just let the man cook a second. Let the Spark figure out how they wanted to run the Tracer Sombra. Even at the Spark's worst, Leave was not personally playing bad at all. Sure, the coordination was a bit off and he wasn't playing like the MVP player he was 2 years prior, but who could? But then they got into the knockouts, and once the game started to matter, Leave and the Hangzhou Spark really stepped it up. In a match that looked done and dusted, like the Charge were going to sweep, Leave turned it around out of nowhere, got Choi on the back foot, and came out on top. Then against Florida to open the midseason madness, he ran circles around the eventual 3rd place team. Leave is still crazy, do not get it twisted. Number 5 is Choi Se-won, and all he needed to get the Charge to 1st place in the East entering the knockouts was Piggy to be usable on Winston and Jimmy to be a player. You can count on 2 fingers the amount of times anyone contested Choi for best DPS in the lobby. It just so happens that both of those times were in the knockouts. However, even on his off games, he was still undoubtedly the best player for the Charge by a wide margin, and that tells you just how good he's been across this whole season. The one time Choi goes from completely dominating the lobby to very good, his team loses to a contender squad. I'll admit that the choking takes him out of a role star spot for sure, but I refuse to ignore him being easily the best APAC DPS for the overall season, on not just Tracer, but Genji and Echo as well. Before I get into the role stars, I want to let you know that I'm ranking all of the supports and coaching staffs live on this YouTube channel tomorrow, Saturday, July 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern, just like I did for all the other roles. Be there. Last time we peaked at 150 people pulling through, and it was very swag, so you do not want to miss it. The fourth role star slot is going to be Happy. He excelled at every role he possibly could in this meta. Hanzo, Tracer, Sombra, he was great on all of it. Literally no other player in this league did that. He went from being a potential weakness due to over-reliance on hit scans and Hanzo to what he is now. There was clear growth of his Tracer and Sombra since the beginning of the Pro-Am, and it makes this just that more impressive. He was so good, he outperformed Pelican on both Tracer and Sombra in the mid-season madness. He and Pelican were interchanging roles, and they were still the only team to put up any semblance of a fight versus Atlanta. The way he adapted his Sombra playstyle to not just be a bootleg dollar store version of Lip was crucial to Houston's success. I made a grave error underrating Happy's flexibility and brain capacity in this offseason. He has earned the title of a thinking man's hit scan and is one of the best, most flexible there is. At this point, it is very safe to say that Houston won the Happy Merit trade. Number 3 is Alpha Yi. He is the Washington Justice. Last season, he was playing second fiddle to Shy, wasn't a crazy Tracer, and fell off a bit towards the second half of the season. But now, he is the star of the show and has been dominant on every hero. Even if you want to poke holes in his Mei, it's not that it's bad, it's just that he cannot carry his heart on it, which makes this whole team fall over and die. He needs to exert 8,000 atmospheres of pressure and kill the entire enemy team at the same time to find success, and he just does that. If you're one of those people that believe the MVP should be the most valuable player to their team, you're looking at Alpha Yi and licking your lips. You're going on a field trip, bro. There is no one else in this entire league solo carrying harder than him and finding success. Number 2 is Stalker. He is simply playing at a level above every other Tracer in this league. He isn't just at the right place at the right time. He warps time and space to make it the right time. He is mechanically pushing the boundaries of what Tracer can do. In both the mid-season madness grand finals and winners finals, Stalker had more than double the next highest final blows on his team. Against Houston, he had more final blows than Donghack and Lip combined. How? What is this entity? He was already a top of the line player before the tournament, but after what he accomplished on LAN in Korea, he is a lock for top 2 and has a strong argument for number 1 even. In the mid-season madness, he was gapping his counterpart harder than Lip, which is just beyond comprehension. Number 1 is Lip. He essentially created this entire metagame, which is something only a few Hall of Fame level players have ever done. I'd be willing to bet he is the most watched POV in the Owl replay viewer. Sombra players attempt to replicate what he does, but it simply is not possible. Lip thinks this game on another level, on another plane of existence. He's hacked into the mainframe of life and discovered the 4th dimension. He actually lives inside the enemy's walls, inside their mind. He knows what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go before even them. It speaks volumes that the most successful Sombras are the one who gave up trying to copy him. They cannot be him. They will never be him. Stalker might have been the better player from a statistical and mechanical standpoint, but Lip has ushered in a new era of mental warfare on the NA lobbies, and that cannot be quantified. With that said, let me know who I snubbed or who I'm overrating in the comments down below. You guys have some interesting opinions, and I am very curious to see where you're at. Have yourself a good one. Deuces.